Welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator 2. If you missed the last episode and you want to go back and check it out, I will put a link up in the upper right hand corner so you can easily do so. Let me hop into the email. Let's see what we got to work on today. We've got a build and an upgrade. And of course we have something from spares and repairs that we're going to work on, and I'll show it to you guys here in just a minute. Let's see what we've got for this build. This is for two builds. This might be what we kind of do for this episode, other than the spares and repairs one. So let's take a look at this. Divinity says, I can hardly keep up. It says, hi again, I've just set our computer back up, and I must say my partner and I are both very impressed with the new storage. It's enormous. And just in time too, Falling For You is running a hot new fly one, get one free offer, and there's been a huge leap in membership numbers. Sadly, it's not all blue skies and rainbows. It's a lot of work for my partner and I, and we've had to bring in a third to help us keep on top of all this extra work. In fact, I'm certain all three of us will be working hard and fast all night. But we can't do that until you leap to our rescue and build us two new computers. We have all of those new membership fees as a safety net, so I think I'd be willing to splurge a little. How does $450 for one computer and $800 for the other sound? And do you think you could manage that in 4 days? I usually prefer to take things slow, but right now there are more members coming in every day. I'm sure you'll be able to rise to the occasion, hee hee. Divinity Applegate, Flighty Aphrodite at fallingforyou.com. So we've got a total parts budget of $1,250 to build two PCs. One that can run ProCrastin 8 Office Suite at recommended spec, and one that can run LensFlair Video Pro at recommended spec. Let's take a look at will it run. Let's see. So we've got LensFlair Video Pro. That's what it is, right? Yeah, Video Pro. So recommended spec is 16 gigs of RAM, 4 gigs of VRAM, 7 gigs of storage, an i5 6400, and a GTX 970. And then for ProCrastin 8, recommended spec, we got 4 gigs of RAM, 2 gigs of VRAM, 3 gigs of storage, a Pentium G6500, and a GTX 750 Ti. So the video computer definitely is going to need a little bit more powerful computer, so I'm glad we've got a little extra budget for that. I'm just going to minimize that because I'm probably going to need it here in just a minute. So I'm not even going to bother to read the upgrade one. I will get to that in the next episode. Let's go ahead and accept this one though. This thing's got two computers that I need to build, so we're going to work on that. And then before I step away, okay, there's the two build notes. But let's take a look at this PC from Spares and Repairs. It's dusty, as usual. It's got a tiny little motherboard in it. It has somehow this... What is going on here? Somehow that works? Maybe. Maybe it works. I don't know. It has a broken PSU. That's it. Everything else in here works. But I don't like this little motherboard. Probably pull that out and use it for something else. And only 16 gigs of RAM. We may buy a couple more sticks of RAM and a 970 Gamer XL. We're going to put something better in there. Everything else, we'll keep the water cooling though. I think that'll be fine. We'll reuse probably all of this except for the terrible tubes. And we'll probably replace cables and, of course, the power supply. So yeah, that's what we'll be working on from Spares and Repairs. But let me come back to the PC here. I need to get the store opened up. I'm going to step away. I'm going to get all the stuff I need for both of these builds put into the shopping cart. And as soon as I've got it in there, I will come back and show you guys what we're going to be getting for these two builds. All right. For the build for ProCrastin 8, we're going to go with an MSI MAG B460M Bazooka motherboard, an Intel Pentium G6500. I believe it was a 5600 or a 4600 Pentium that it was saying was required, so we're stepping them up to something a little bit newer. It's still a Pentium. It's still only 2 cores, but it's a little bit better, and it's about the same price. Some of these parts are going to carry over to the other build. We've got two builds that are going to be pretty close to the same. We're going to put in an Arctic Freezer i13X to cool that tiny little Pentium. We're getting 2 sticks of Patriot Viper SteelSeries 4 gig, 3200 megahertz. We only needed 4 gigs of RAM, but we're going to put 8 gigs in this system. I mean, it's only $26. And I think the motherboard only handles up to 2933, so we're putting in RAM a little bit faster than we need, but I think it'll be all right. They said they needed a 750 Ti, so that's where they're getting a Shein GeForce GTX 750 Ti Gamer. It's the cheapest thing we've got access to. This is the cheapest power supply. We've got a Shein Power King 250, which should be more than enough power for what this system is running. We're going to put in the cheapest SSD we have access to. It's a 480 gigabyte SSD. We're going to put all that in the Antec P6 case. So this build comes to $451. They said $400 for the cheaper build. So we went $1 over. Not a big deal. I think they're going off of a total build price anyway. So based on this next build, we had $2 left over, so we're coming in $1 under budget. So we're going to go with the same motherboard, an MSI MAG B460M Bazooka motherboard, but we're putting in i3-10320 in there. I think it said it needed a 6600 or something like that. This is way more powerful than an i5-6600. We're going with the same Arctic Freezer i13X cooler. We're going with the same RAM, but we're going with 2 8GB sticks instead of 2 4GB sticks. So they'll have 16 gigs of RAM. We're going to put in a Shein GeForce GTX 980 Gamer. I think it said it needed a 970, so we've stepped them up a little bit. It still has the same amount of VRAM, it's just a little bit faster, a little more powerful. We're going to go with a Shein Power King at 350 in this one because of the more power draw from the graphics card, as well as a little bit more power draw from the i3. Same gigabyte SSD, same Antec P6 case, so this one comes to $798. Yeah, we had the extra dollar we could throw up to that other build, so we've got $1 left over in the budget. Hopefully we don't need anything because that's all the money we've got for these two builds. Then for the spares and repairs build that we're going to do, we're going to swap out the motherboard that's in it with a Gigabyte X570 Aorus Master motherboard. We're going to add 2 more sticks of that ADATA XPG Z1 8GB 4400 MHz RAM. We're going to put in a Radeon RX 6900 XT. We're going to replace the Silverstone 1500 watt power supply that's already in there with just one that isn't broken. We're going to add in my favorite NVMe drive, a PNY CS a 3040 M.2, but we're putting in a 4 terabyte one. Then, well, we're going to custom water cool that 6900 XT, so we're getting an EK Quantum Vector RX 6900 XT water block. It's only $100. It'll really help drive that price up a little bit further. Get as much money as we can out of that spares and repairs build. So we've got this for next day delivery. Let's go ahead and buy that now. We can close that out. Then we've got all of this stuff for next day delivery. Let's go ahead and buy that now. We should be able to go ahead and close that out. Now we need to go to the whiteboard because we've got a couple of these post-it notes. I don't know which one's which. It might have told me there. We're going to get one put here. Let's see. This is the ProCrastin 8. And then we're going to get one put. Actually, let's put this one here. We'll build this one second. Oh, I can't swap them out. Oh, there we go. There we go. We'll just do the old switcheroo here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How do I? There we go. Oh, geez. All right. So we've got post-it notes down on the table. This stuff is all on its way in, as well as all the parts we just bought. Let me turn off the lights. Let's end the day. We can get everything in, and we can get to work on these, well, 3 builds technically. 2 builds for the customer, and 1 to put out in the storefront. All right, it's a new day. Let's turn the lights on. There's our 2 cases. Here's all of our parts. Go ahead and collect that. These are both the same P6 case, so we'll get one put over here. Let's sprint back out here. We'll get, whoops. Help if I clicked the right button. We'll get the other one put over here. So this one should be for ProCrastin 8 Office Suite. Let's get started with this. We've got 1 case fan in there. That's fine. I don't think either one of these builds are going to run all that hot. I'm not going to look at trying to add any fans. I mean, there's really no money in the budget for it. So let's get started building this. For the motherboard, we've got the MSI MAG B460M Bazooka. And it does take 2933 megahertz RAM. So yeah, putting 3200 mega, we're losing a little bit with the 3200 megahertz RAM. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Let's get this thing ready for CPU and RAM. We got 2 sticks going in. We don't have an NVMe drive, but we are going to have, I think it's a single slot, that 750 Ti. I think it's a single slot. We are going to put the Pentium G6500 in here. 2 cores at 4100 megahertz. Definitely not the most powerful thing on the planet, but it will get the job done. Then I want to grab some thermal paste. Get this thing thermal pasted up. We'll get some RAM. Let's see. This one was getting the 2 4 gig sticks of the Patriot Viper Steel Series, 3200 megahertz RAM. It will run at 2933. Should be just fine. Okay. Next, let's get some CPU cooling in here. We've got both of these same coolers going in both builds. It's the Arctic Freezer i13X. I don't know if I've actually used one of these, but it fits the case and it's better than the crappy little coolers. I mean, at least it's a tower cooler, right? At least it's a tower cooler. Let's see. We need to get a power supply in here. This one's getting the Power King 250. We'll get that installed. Now, where are we going to put storage in this case? Let's see. We've got the Gigabyte 480 gig SSD. Looks like we can mount them there, or, well, heck, we could probably even mount them down there. Let's see. Let's go for right here. I think that'll be perfect. Then this one is getting the 750 Ti, so let's make sure we get the right one in here. It's the Shein GeForce GTX 750 Ti Gamer. Yeah, it's a single slot. Perfect. Let's get that closed. Then I think all we need to do is cable. I'm just going to use black cables because this is not a fancy build. This is just a get work done build. There we go. What's up with our price over here? $449. $449. Did I do something wrong? Oh, I see it. You guys see it? Put in an 8 gig stick of RAM. Let's fix that. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. It needs a 4 gig stick. How did I click that? What? Okay. I'm not sure what I did there. There we go. 451. Now we're right. Now we're right. Does anything else need to be cabled? No. No, I think we're ready. Let's see if this thing boots. All right, let me hop into the BIOS. Make sure we don't need to turn on XMP. I think we are. Yeah, to get our 2933, we're going to have to. We only got the one drive. Let's go ahead and let this thing install the operating system. While it's doing that, I think this is going to be a nice little build, actually, for how cheap it is. While it's doing that, let me get this side panel on. Perfect. Perfect. And I don't think we needed to install any software. Let me double check. No. Okay. Let's get this side panel on. This one's done. I'm going to leave it sitting here for right now. Oops. I wanted to look at it. I mean, for an office PC, it's not bad. Okay. Let's go over here and build this one to run LensFlair Video Pro. Let me get this side panel off. We'll get this side panel off. This one's going to take a lot of the same parts. So for the motherboard, we've got the MSI MAG B460M Bazooka. Same motherboard. Trying to keep things easy here. Let me get this thing ready for CPU and RAM. There we go. No NVMe drive going in this one, but we do have the i3 10320 going in. Very nice. Next, let's get some RAM. We've got 2 sticks of Patriot Viper Steel Series 8 gig at 3200 megahertz. There they both are. I don't know how I grabbed that other 8 gig stick accidentally for the other build, but I'm glad I recognized that I did. Yeah, I must have grabbed one of these used ones. Interesting. Let's get this open and that out of the way, because we just need to get some thermal paste on this CPU. And then get the cooler. We've got the Arctic Freezer i13X, the same one went in the other build. We'll get that on there. This one, let's see, for power supplies, this one's getting a Shein Power King 350. So we'll get that installed. While we're over here, let's go ahead and get the Gigabyte SSD, the 480 gig installed. We'll put that in the same spot as we did the other one. And then I think we just need the 980 Gamer, the GTX 980 Gamer from Shein. Also a 1 slot. Okay, I think we're ready to cable this one as well. We're going to use the same black cables. Get everything cabled up. We'll have to make sure this one works as well. There we go. Everything is cabled. So let me grab a USB drive. We'll make sure this one boots. I'm going to hop into the BIOS. I'm sure we've got to turn XMP on this one as well. It's probably just running at 2666. Get that turned on. It's only got the one drive. We're going to let this thing boot up into the operating system, or actually install the operating system. I'm going to get this side panel on while it does that, though. Perfect. Perfect. So, should we, just to be sure, add remove programs, we'll put will it run on here, just as an added precaution. This one is supposed to be running LensFlair Video Pro at recommended spec. Everything's green. I think we are good to go. I think we're good to go on that one. So then we can go and check this one. Let's put will it run on here. This one needs to run ProCrastin 8 Office Suite. Let's do that. We'll come down here to the P's. ProCrastin 8 Office Suite recommended spec. Yep, all green. All green. Okay, so this one's done. Let's go put this one out here in the delivery area. And then we will grab this one as well. Oh, we didn't even look at this one. It looks the same as the other one. I mean, even the graphics card looks the same. I mean, you can't tell the difference between the 750 Ti and the 980. I think that's just crazy. But we can grab this one. We can go put this one out here in the delivery area. We should be able to collect money from this. We get anything good? Anything good that we can order from spares and repairs? We might have to take a look. I'm starting to run low. Rent's due. You owe us $800. All right, well. We've received your $800. Hope you enjoyed your month. Great. So we've got a diagnose, a customize, and this build we just did. So we should be able to accept this. It says we spent $12.69. How did we spend an extra $19? Okay, I gotta figure this out. Because this one says it's $4.51. This one says $7.98. We should have $1 left over. Total spent $4.61. Are they charging us for the fan that came in the PC case? Spend less than $800. Total spent $808. Total spent $4.61. But it's saying we spent $4.51 in parts. And this one's saying we spent $7.98 in parts. So we're being charged $11 each. So that would have to say they're charging us for the case fans, right? Let's see, because I think they're like more Tony Heat Away 120s. Is that what's in there? Oh, those are only $10. Okay, I'm curious. What? Parts, $4.51. Yeah, Mortoni Heat Away 120. We're $1 over. I'm just confused. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm not really sure what the heck we're being charged for, but I'm not going to stress it. I mean, if we get 4 stars, I guess we just get 4 stars. So, that being said, let's collect it. 5 stars. Okay. I don't understand, but I'll take it. I'll take it. That's just weird. If you guys understand where the extra $19 came from, let me know down in the comments, because I have no idea. I have no idea. But we got 5 stars out of it, so it's all good. Okay, so we've got stuff for the next episode. That's great. Let's take a quick look at spares and repairs, because I really need some more PCs. I think we're down to 3 or 4. Is there anything that's water-cooled? Anything? Anything? I'm feeling like we're striking out on water-cooled stuff. None of this stuff is water-cooled. This isn't a bad build, though. We could water-cool a lot of this. We do have to replace the 12900K and a stick of RAM, but that's not too bad. It's got a 6800 XT in it. Okay, let's buy this one. What was this other one? What's in this one? B360M. The 8700 does have a 3090 in it. Nah, we're going to pass. We're going to pass on that. We're going to pass on it. We got one, though. And then, like I said, we've got this one. We need to work on this one. Can't waste any more time. Can't waste any more time on that other stuff. Let's go ahead and empty this reservoir out. I do want to grab some compressed air. This thing's filthy. Absolutely filthy. Get it all cleaned out. There we go. Did that thing just refill with coolant? Why does it look like there's coolant in there? Uh-huh. Okay, well, we're gonna get we're gonna get these hard lines off of here. So the only thing that's broken in here is the PSU. Everything else is good. But I want to save this motherboard for a different build and maybe a smaller case that's more made for this. And this 970 is not anything I want to work with. Get the CPU out. Is there anything in there? No. Get this motherboard out of here. Yeah, that just looks like it has stuff in it. That is weird. Okay, well. Let's get this broken power supply out of here. I want to get a new power supply in, so let's get that sold. We've got the same thing, the Silverstone ST1500 Ti. That's got to have more than enough power for what I want to put in here. More than enough. For the motherboard. For the motherboard, we got the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Master motherboard. Look at that. That is nice. We get this thing ready for the CPU, the RAM. Let's see, we got clips down here. We're going to put in an NVMe drive. So let's get started with the CPU. We're going to reuse the 3900X back in here. Then for RAM, well, we're going to use 2 of the used sticks, and then I got 2 new sticks of this ADATA XPG Z1 8 gig 4400 megahertz. We're going to get all 4 sticks of that installed in here. There we go. Then, what am I looking for? Storage. We got the PNY CS3040M.2. We got a 4 terabyte drive going in. We're also going to leave, I think this was a 3 terabyte. Yeah, 3 terabyte. We're going to leave that. So whoever gets this is going to have 7 terabytes of storage. That's more than enough. That is more than enough for pretty much anything. Let's get some thermal paste on the CPU. There we go. And then I want to get this block back on. This was the one that I pulled off. It's the EK quantum velocity, all that other stuff it says. We're going to get that put back on there. Just like so. And then, well, I think we're ready to go water cool the 6900 XT I bought. Let's come over here. We got the Radeon RX 6900 XT. Get this thing water cooled. Man, was this thing in a fire? I thought I just bought it brand new. Look at these RAM chips. They are destroyed looking. Jeez. Okay, well. There we go. This whole thing just isn't looking great. That's probably enough weird thermal paste. I don't know why I put it on there like that. Let's get the block on here. Maybe I just don't want to look at this burned up chip anymore, or this burned up board anymore. It looks destroyed for brand new 6900 XT. Dang. Okay, that's water cooled. We're not doing any more of that. Let's come over here. I'll zoom back in. And okay, so there's our water cooled. What is happening? There's our water cooled 6900 XT, but there's no picture for it. Okay, at least it shows up in the build. Same as this. Should I like take this reservoir off of here and put it back on? Because it looks like it's got stuff still in it. There we go. That fixed it. That was weird. That was weird. Okay, so let's cable this. Actually, let's not cable it. We'll cable it when I come back. I'm going to pipe this thing, and then I'll come back, and we will cable this together. But for the piping, I'm going to go with nickel rigid pipe. And I'm going to go with the EK angled black nickel fittings. I think will look pretty nice with this. So I'm going to step away. I'm going to get this all piped up, and then I will come back. We'll cable this thing up together, and we'll get some coolant in it, and we'll make sure it all works. All right, I am happy with that. I think that turned out pretty nice, actually. I think that turned out pretty dang nice. All right, let's get some cables on here. Let's see, we've got kind of a black and red thing going on. Let's see. Do red. We've got a nice duo there. I think that's about all we've got that's black and red, isn't it? Well, I guess we've got this one. Actually, let's do this one. The black and red striped. Yeah, that works. That works. Let's get everything cabled up here. There we go. And then we can get some coolant in here. I don't think it's really going to matter what color coolant we go with because you're not really going to be able to see it anywhere but the reservoir. But let's do some black. We'll do some black opaque to darken that thing up. And I'll let that run through. I won't know when it's done. We'll just have to guess. We will just have to guess. But what I do want to do is while it's running through, I'm going to go ahead and grab a USB drive, get that installed. We'll wait another moment for it to maybe run through. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we can get this back panel put on. We're going to paint this back glass black when I'm done here. But let's see if this thing powers on yet. It does. Okay, I do want to hop into the BIOS. I don't know if XMP is on, if it needs to be turned on, any of that. Yeah, it did. 4400 megahertz. Let's make sure we're booting from the NVMe drive. Go ahead and let this thing install the operating system. I don't know if there's anything on the other drive. I don't really care. We'll leave that up to whoever buys this thing in the end. Okay, but we may want to adjust some colors, so let's get the lighting app on here. Yeah. I mean, I think this is the only thing that's got, well, I guess that's got a little piece of RGB that runs sort of down it. I don't know if that's RGB or if it's just a reflection. I don't know. We're going to change it up, though. Get the lighting app started up. Yeah, we've got motherboard. What on the motherboard is lighting up? I can't tell. We've got the CPU cooler. I guess that's the block and the GPU. So I don't think that lights up. But we'll go ahead and let's make it what white look like. White might work. I think white's going to work. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, I think white might be the way to go with this. It's a pretty simple build. Don't want a whole lot of crazy colors going on. So, that's pretty much what it looks like. We're going to paint the back glass black, but that's what it looks like. We'll get this glass side panel put on. It just adds some glare. I wanted to look at it before it gets all glary. I think it's nice. I think it's nice. Let's go paint this glass. There we go. Paint. Black. Fix this. We'll rotate this around. We do want to apply it on the glass. Oh, it's already selected. Perfect. There we go. Now you can't see through it. I think that's great. I think that's great. Okay. I think this thing's ready to go be listed out here. So let's set it there. Okay, so we haven't named it, so we'll need to name it. I did look in the Discord before recording. I didn't see anything that kind of fits with this in terms of names that have been submitted, but there are some names here, so thank you guys so much for submitting names. I will get back to using those as soon as I have some builds that kind of fit the names that are there. However, if you would like to name a PC or submit a name, you can do so on my Discord server. There is a link down in the description. Join the Discord, go down to the Name a PC channel, read the instructions, and submit your name. All right, so I think I'm just going to name this. We're going to name this, oops, I guess I need to click in the intertext area, AMD PC. Because it's all AMD. We've got a Ryzen processor. We've got a 6900 XT. It's AMD, man. It's AMD. So there we go. Got our $50 for naming it. We did customize the case by painting the back glass black. We put in new cables. We didn't do custom cables, which is fine. I did not delid. We did overclock the RAM by turning on XMP. Added a custom water loop. Customized the LEDs to white. And I still, amazingly, have a 5-star bongle rating after I thought I was going to screw it up in this episode with those PCs that somehow went over budget. All right, so we are at $6,007. What do we think will get this thing up to a 50% chance of selling? Okay, so I think I got it figured out. Let's go with $9,000. That puts us right at 50%. Right at it, man. Let's go ahead and list this thing. Let's go ahead and list the AMD PC for $9,000. It's right here if anybody wants to buy it. Then we've got this one from the last episode. We've got the 100% RGB free. There was no RGB turned on in this build, even though we do have some RGB fans. Whoever buys it can enable those if they want to. So yeah, we got 2 PCs out here for sale. They're both sitting at 50% chance of sale, which is fine. They'll probably sell maybe the next episode or the episode after. They eventually sell no matter what. They eventually do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you being here and hanging out with me and spending some time watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, a thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and ring the bell if you want to be notified as soon as a video from me goes live. Like I said before, I do have a Discord server. If you'd like to join it, there is a link down in the description. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next episode.